Well, hello, hello, hello there. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, same thing, different day. I was
Same,
gonna use the
same
other
old thing,
word.
different day.
I was gonna use something else, but
He's
we'll keep
keeping
it
it
friend.
PG. He's keeping it
Keep it,
friendly here. Well, yeah, we'll
yeah,
say friendly,
family friendly.
friendly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we like family. We like friends. We like stuff like that. And you
Ah,
know what we really like?
racing.
You got that right. We're here to talk about that for a little bit here tonight. But hey, real quick, if you're in the mood for some other sports chat, you got some stuff going on yourself. Is that correct?
Yeah. Hopefully we will be coming back soon with baseball. Had a little bit of a snafu this last week or so. Um, previewing playoff season, baby. It's on the horizon, so we'll be talking about that. Possible record-breaking season for Aaron Judge coming up here too. So hopefully, maybe not Sunday, but maybe Monday.
Yeah. Well, hey, from the races to the bases, no doubt about it. There, it's a good old time. As always, you can check out the Dukes of football. I think the basketball. What's oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank right now.
Combat,
You got
the
combat zone. What's the
super.
basketball?
Well, you got.
Super
I don't.
kicking it with Steven.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
I'm drawing a
terrible.
blank on
I
drawing
am
a.
terrible. I'm
Hold on.
terrible. Oh goodness, Damon would kill me right now.
Well, we can. I can look real quick
No,
because
you're good. We
I'm.
got a
I'm
basketball show too, but it's off season right now, so it's out of my mind. It's out of my mind. So hey, a lot of things happening.
the
Uh,
state of
state
basketball.
of
The
bass. I
state
knew
of
something
basketball.
about the state, but I
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah, yeah, yeah,
remember.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I wasn't gonna put my foot in my mouth, but I guess I did anyway. So Damon, I am sorry, but hey, we got a lot to cover here. We got a new IndyCar champion, Will Power, a great race, and you know we'll start right here. When you have Penske running and you got the organization going for a title like that, and you got to finish this position or better, you know what typically happens? That car is going to finish that position or better, and it's pretty much the same song, same dance here. Will Power getting a second championship, which you think with all the success and everything of Will Power, this would be more than two. They said two, and it kind of was like whoa, that was only two. I figured there was more, in that beginning reign when it seemed like he was winning every road course and stuff. But congrats to him. A huge shout out to Will Power getting his second and a great season by Will. I think you just a phenomenal run there all season long. What's your take overall on Power in that race?
Well, I didn't get to watch the race itself, but I was definitely disappointed that Newgarden didn't hang on for the championship. I mean, I thought he was probably the best car all year. Um, it's hard to hate Will Power, that hate the fact that he won. You know what I mean? Like, he's a
It
guy
is.
so much success in his career, and only to have that one championship. Now he's got two. Um, I think I don't think there was much of an argument that he isn't one of the greatest IndyCar drivers of all time, but this solidifies it now, especially for how consistent he was. And I'm just kind of glad. I know this is like probably a slap in the face to everybody, but I was kind of glad Dixon didn't come back and win that championship.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, at this point, it's not like I don't like Dixon because
Yeah,
that's false. But I think it gets. I guess it gets old seeing the same person win. But Penske's pretty dominant. But it does. It just it seems like it's almost time to pass that virtual torch. And yes, speaking of virtual, I definitely still run, still thoroughly enjoy some iRacing. So almost into that big iRacing season. But yeah, I think going forward, IndyCar is looking dominant, looking very strong. Excuse me. I think at the end of the day, I really think that they need to really look at that schedule. And I'm not saying throw a lot more races in there because I get you try to keep the cost down, but you do need to throw some more races into the mix. I think you have to kind of give a little more love to those fans and everything that really are driving this sport right now. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how they play that out as next year's schedule already out, I believe. So it's
yeah.
it's not like they're adding anything there,
I
but
think I think we need. This is just maybe me being biased, but I think another oval or two in there just to mix it up and break up all the road racing.
I think a lot of IndyCar, especially purists, they would 100% agree with you, and that's why I also think it's kind of something that really mixes it up with these F1 drivers. We talked about it many times before, but I think, is Daniel Ricciardo scared to get into an IndyCar? I don't think so. But is he thinking about it because of those ovals? Are those 3 ovals really kind of stopping him, or stopping a lot of guys overall from kind of getting into that hump? That's a good question. I think that is, but at the same time, I believe that you've got the best of both worlds here. It's you've got NASCAR. They're starting to run more road course races. You throw a couple more ovals in there, and you're really showing that these guys can throw it around on anything. And that's what was really fun to watch this year, is Palou doing decent on ovals, doing decent on the road courses, Newgarden doing decent on all the mixtures. So these guys aren't just starting to be dominant in road courses or dominant in ovals. It's kind of a good mixed bag there. So he's a Dallas fan too, Big Ben. You got to remember that. You got 2 Dallas fans talking racing right here.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I like, you go look at the oval races this year. So you got Newgarden won at Texas, Ericsson with that major upset in Indy. What was the other one?
Iowa was
Newgarden won
Newgarden,
yeah. So I mean, he won that Gateway too. What, didn't they run Gateway? The Bo Marito.
Yeah, was there 4? Yeah. Was there 4 ovals this year?
There was 4 ovals,
okay.
And Newgarden won 3 of the 4. But then, 5 wins, 3 of them are on ovals. He probably would have won a championship this year if they had another oval in there, minus 1 road course. Because, I think he was the class of the field in the ovals. But it gives, Indy 500 is a crapshoot. We've talked about that before. Anybody that has a good car can win that. And Ericsson proved that. I still consider it an upset. But that's like a make or break schedule with the low amount of ovals. You just have to be consistent as a road racer, and I don't know.
I think Kentucky, they used to go there. I think that would be a great track to revisit. I think Michigan, another one that they used to go to, would be a great track to revisit for those guys. And obviously the cars have changed a lot since then technologically. Whether or not it's safe, you definitely don't want to go to a place. I don't think Pocono is meant for Indy cars, but there's tracks around here that I think you could really spool up some good racing. I hate to say this, but the Milwaukee Mile, they used to do it there, and man, that would be some fun to see that. But it could get ugly real quick.
Well, considering that they're bringing Milwaukee back on the truck schedule next year, it's possible. Why not?
Oh, I think it'd be fantastic, but I just don't see. I think the cars nowadays, they're too big. I think that's the difference between now and then is just the size of the car overall, the wheelbase, the length, everything. I just it's probably not fitting as much for the Indy cars now. But we talk IndyCar, we talk lengthening schedules, and the F1 schedule was released, and this is something I find interesting, and I'm going to back the guy up because I love IndyCar and I think he's talented enough to get in. But in all honesty, I don't know why it seems like they're scared of him. They want the American money. We got 3 races coming through here. We got Miami, we've got COTA, and we've got Vegas. So taking these high caliber tracks and everything like that, you're going to get some money. But yet you don't want an American driver. You don't want an American team. What's up with this? That kind of has you questioning, because I think Herta has obviously shown the F1 world. He has shown AlphaTauri, who has come after him. Obviously McLaren. I'm sure Alpine, however you want to say that. They've looked at him as well. If he just had those extra points for that super license, it'd be a whole different ball game. So I don't want to say you're scared of him, but it sure looks like you're scared of the guy, and I don't know why. That's it. I'm not sure. You got the purists that will say, it feeds. There's no reason for guys to race F2, F3 if they can get in Indy Lights and IndyCar a lot cheaper than what they can in that ladder, that F3, the F2, stuff like that, because that's not cheap. It's not. I'm not saying the IndyCar or Indy Lights is, but I mean you're talking millions to hundreds of thousands, maybe million to, I would assume, an Indy Lights team. So a big difference there. So that's what they want to argue.
In regards to the schedule, though, did you see what the most talked about thing is? And it's not about what you're talking about, but like the IndyCar or the United States involvement or whatever. It's Monaco. My dog is getting into my cough drops because I was kind of sick last week. Sorry.
Well, she's got a cough and she wants to get better there.
Yeah.
No, they're renewed till 2025.
It's not even just that, but the racing is terrible.
It is. It's not fun, but it's a tradition thing, and it's almost the same when NASCAR released their schedule, the road course at Indy. It's tradition to be here now. It's tradition to come to Indy. They like to do that. So
they brought up a good point, though. A lot of people were saying it's the qualifying session for Monaco that makes it exciting.
Oh, absolutely.
It's always the best qualifying session.
Right.
But the cars, because of how they're made now and the way Monaco is set up, it's just...
You better have a solid, and I mean a solid strategy if you're not starting up front.
Yeah, the racing itself is bad, and we know that. But, I don't know. I like the schedule. I mean, other than we don't have a legit American driver in the F1, I like the schedule. I think it's going to be good. Well,
that's what Oh, hello, puppy. That is what a lot of guys in the FIA there, or the teams and everything in F1, they were saying. This year was taxing, and if you look, F1 wants to sit here and claim it, carbon neutral, blah blah blah. But you're gonna fly. I want to say it was just under 500,000 kilometers. Don't know what that is in miles, but 500,000 kilometers, and you can't say you're carbon neutral because that's just if you flew from race to race. That's not if you go home after the race, and they're not doing that. So it's
500,000 kilometers is 310,685 miles.
So there you go. A lot is the answer there. So you want to claim that you're carbon neutral for what? Come on now. Let's just be honest with ourselves and get over with that. So a long, very distant schedule there for those guys. I can only imagine. That's got to be pretty taxing on the guys on the teams.
Well, so I want to bring this up because you and I were kind of talking about this earlier, and I don't know how many people that are watching realize it. So with how the length of the schedule is now, especially with this year, Verstappen is on pace to break Michael Schumacher's single-season win record. The single-season win record is 13. Verstappen has 11, and there's 6 races left. So we're in that middle part of how many more wins is Verstappen going to get? So with the way the schedule is now, will anybody beat Verstappen's record? Because when Schumacher broke it, there was maybe 20 races. So it's 20? I think it's now 24 races for next year.
Did you say what year that was? Do you know?
Michael Schumacher wins record.
It was probably 2000. What? It had to be between 2001 and 2004.
Let me do a quick Google search because I don't remember.
No, you're good.
2002.
2002,
including a near perfect year in 2002. He took 11 victories, 5 second-place finishes, and a single third place.
So out of 20, there were 6 that he didn't.
There's 17 races in 2002 when he did that.
Okay. So yeah, big difference there, and that was when they were, I believe, refueling as well. So a lot of strategy. Ferrari wouldn't have them wins with the strategists they do now.
2011 is when he had a near perfect season. 2002. 2004 he had the 13 wins.
Okay.
But it was still the same amount of races. I misread. My bad. But yeah,
Hey,
he
it
had
happens.
13. He had 13 wins in 2004 in 17 races or whatever it was, which is impressive. I mean,
Oh,
that,
absolutely, yeah. But
and we're sitting.
yeah, I do think that is beat. It'd be interesting to go back and see like the win ratio after the season to see, did Max top the ratio overall of Schumacher there, and you start to wonder. There's always that back end article that I read, and I don't know if it's a clickbait article or what exactly it is, but they're always talking about Verstappen could leave the sport at any time. Like I guess he's like a ticking time bomb, and he'd be happy to retire tomorrow, so he could get the second one. I don't know how long he wants to go in F1, and obviously you get to the top. If you're not there the next year, you could see him just say, "Okay, guys, I'm out. That was a good time. I appreciate it, but good on you, I guess." So it'd be interesting. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the validity to any of those articles there talking about him kind of always on the edge of retirement, but he's on top of his game right now, and I think he's trying to prove that right now. I think people want to compare him to Lewis, but first you got to get past Fernando. Then you got to get past Michael and Lewis kind of right there together. So I think, you win this one, you're tied. And then you got Vettel, I think, too. You talk about these common day drivers. That's the good way to kind of stack them up and really compare them, I think. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously dominant this year. I don't think anybody can touch him. I think Verstappen kind of easily rolls on through with a title.
I forget what the scenario is, but he literally can win the championship
this weekend. Yeah, it'd be pretty tough. Like the guys had to finish like ninth or worse, and that's some pretty stout drivers there that have to all finish back in the back. But I mean, it just goes to show you with what 6 races left. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
I think there's 6 races left, so you can almost take it with 5 to go. So
just for
I'd love to
here,
see it done here in America.
Yeah.
I really would.
Me too. If Verstappen wins the race, full points must be awarded, for which at least 46 of the 61 laps must be covered. The other finishing positions depend on which driver sets fastest lap. If Verstappen sets the fastest lap, Leclerc has to finish no higher than 8th, and Perez no higher than 4th.
Yeah, and I knew it was a pretty distant. And then you go, I mean, you're already saying this with 6 to go. With 5 to go, that shrinks. With 4 to go, that definitely gets low. So it'll be interesting to see exactly when he's able to get that victory there. Because I want to say Coda's late October. I think it's 2 races. There's 2 races before Coda this weekend and the next race, and then it's Coda, I believe. So
yeah, right now we're at what?
There's a good possibility.
Oh my God! What? Why am
You're
I?
gonna ask me where they're at this weekend? I don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't. Why am I drawing a blank? 'Cause I know
Look at
you're
that.
talking about. Isn't it Hungary?
Hungaroring?
Yeah, maybe.
No, it's a street
Singapore.
course. Yeah,
Singapore.
there you go.
Singapore. That's yeah.
Because on iRacing they do the GP, and I love doing that. That car's wicked. I'll tell you that. And this week, since they don't have Singapore, what they're doing is Detroit Belle Isle, and I am very excited to get behind. I want to say it's like 90 laps at Belle Isle. It's like, oh, hold on tight, bud, because this is gonna be a wild ride.
So we got Singapore, Japan, and then it's Coda.
So it's very doable that he takes it here in America. I'd love to see that. I think it'd be a real cool thing for F1 in America to kind of see that as well.
The Coda weekend's my birthday also, so that'd make it even a great
There you go. See, present. I think it's right before mine. We have that same area because mine's November 3rd. I don't think there's a race before my birthday except Coda. So
Mexico.
Well, there you go. Viva la Mexico, baby. Viva la Mexico. So, anything else in F1? The silly season, we're still kind of waiting to hear. I think From what I've heard, Nick DeVries is looking at an AlphaTauri, which would mean Mercedes would have to release him, I believe.
Yeah, well, the Alex Palou saga ended, which kind
Right,
of like,
he's which that's got to be awkward. That's got to be awkward. It's like, hey guys, I'm coming back. And that's got to be like an ex situation. It's like you break up, you see him like next week at the party, and you're like, oh man.
which
But then
puts
you get back together the next week.
but that puts Felix back into the McLaren, which now
Right.
makes that a weird situation because it's like,
He's fighting for a seat again for 1 year. But at least this time he's got more time, I think, to get behind it and try to get a seat instead of kind of sit back or kind of figure out, is IndyCar really where I want to go, or do I want to possibly win a championship in Formula E? Because that's where he came from. He was running in Formula E before he ran here in IndyCar. So do you want to go back and do that? Have you been at the top of your game there, or do you want to give this another valiant effort? I think he belongs in IndyCar right now, though, in all honesty.
Yeah. Well, I think what makes this interesting now is knowing that, because you and I talked about this the last time we had this discussion about the Palou thing, with Palou confirming now that he's going back to Chip Ganassi, and with Ricardo definitely not coming back to McLaren. That's going to make it interesting now, and like how the rest of their silly season for the rest of the year is going to fill out, because like everything was based on the fact whether or not Palou was going to go to McLaren or not.
Right. Yeah, there was a lot.
So it's going to be interesting to see like what Ricardo does now.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, between that, you got Ricardo, you got Schumacher. I really think Mick Schumacher's out of F1. I can't find, unless he goes to a Williams, because you got DeVries. If he's going to AlphaTauri, you do have that seat open at Williams then, because I don't think there's a way in a cold chance in heck that Latifi's coming back for that.
Well, on the Schumacher front, Ferrari's boss Binotto set for talks with Schumacher over his F1 future. So there is some talks being played out with him being part of the Ferrari family at some.
He already was, and they just left. I don't. So they're gonna talk about him like possibly coming back.
That's what it sounds like.
Interesting. Maybe it's gonna be something like a reserve driver spot at Ferrari. Something like that where you're out of F1 but you're still in F1.
I mean, right now what they're looking at is they want to talk about over these last 6 races and then really work out something in the end of the year. So I don't know.
Yeah, so if you're working something out at the end of the year, that means you're not in F1 anymore. That's the way I look at that. Because if you are, then you're going to announce something here in the next couple weeks. I would think. I would think
so too, but I don't know. What do we know? We just sit here, we talk about it. We can't predict the future. If we did, most of us would be millionaires and we would have our own race teams of some sort.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Either that or I'd be at a track every week. A different one here, there, everywhere.
I mean, we'd fly to Monaco.
Why not? Why not at that point?
Gamble and watch some F1.
Yeah, so that sounds like a great life right there. It's not condoning gambling if you're addicted, but outside of that, that sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah. Not trying to be an enabler here.
No, not at all.
Moving on then to some NASCAR action. So I saw a meme. It was really funny. It said, if you used to, if you're going to, or if you do race for Roush, well, you're not Roush. I'm sorry. You're, God, goodness gracious, Childress. Then you are out of the playoffs. So it was Harvick, Reddick, Dylan, and Busch. Yeah, exactly. So a tough run for the past, present, and future there of that team.
Well, I want to talk a little bit here about Kyle Busch going to Richard Childress Racing. I'm not a fan of it. I'm okay with him going back to Chevy, but I'd rather see him go to Colleague and not Childress, to be honest with you.
Not a fan of it, huh?
No. I mean, I get it. Like, they put their differences to the side, but Austin Dillon's still there, and he's still going to be the number one guy.
Right. You are right there. That's the thing. I would agree with you there. But the thing in saying that is that team does actually have some decent stuff. They're not really blowing up this year. You see Kyle coming out after, and he's like, it's a Toyota thing. So now he's starting to point fingers at Toyota. Now he's coming out and really saying what he wants to say about Toyota, and he's not going to hold back at all.
Yeah.
These cars looked rough, though, at Bristol.
I mean, I found it odd that you had both Bubba and Ty Gibbs with the same issue. You had Truex with the same issue, and then Kyle just blows a motor. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, I'm not saying it was sabotage or anything like that or set up, but then it's like, oh, we'll let Bubba and Ty Gibbs come out and get ready to pass Kyle in the standings and kind of take his points away. Like, you think if your focus was on him being there to the end of the year, like you'd want him to make it into the next round of the playoffs, like you would have just parked them right then and there.
I'm looking for my foil hat, and I can't find it just yet. So I gotta hold on. I don't know about that. That seems a little deep into the conspiracy. Daniel would love that though. Sorry.
I'm not saying it's a conspiracy. I'm just saying in general, it was just like,
a conspiracy.
No, Toyota's backed Kyle. Like, even though,
and now they're saying, "All right, dude, we're done with you.
Yeah.
We're good."
Yeah, he got them 2 championships. He's won all these races and all this stuff for them, and he's been successful with them. And then all of a sudden, like, he has the motor issue, and then it's like, oh, well, we got 2 guys we got a guy competing for the owners championship with 23 XI, and Ty Gibbs, who's going to go into the 18 car probably next year. Let's run them as close as we can to passing the 18 in points.
Well,
track.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I get it. It's seat time and stuff. I was just like, come on. Like, if you really cared about that man enough.
It's what have you done for me now?
Right.
Not what have you done for me lately.
It's not like this year he's been running bad. He's had so much bad luck. Like, I figured he wasn't going to make it out of the first round, to be honest.
Yeah, but again, it's that situation where they're done with each other, and both of them right now are just like, oh, yeah, we're done. We're done. We're done. He's saying we're done. They're saying we're done. You know, he probably cost him a decent little penny by leaving the truck series.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're not happy about that.
Well, should have offered him some more money than to stick around with the Toyota family.
So apparently they did say, like, hey man, we'll give you whatever they're giving you. Like, we want you to stay here, but I think it was more a Gibbs thing than it was a Busch thing and Toyota thing.
Yeah, I don't think listening to his press conference, it sounded like he was like Gibbs was done with him. So
I think one of the coolest things in NASCAR to happen in the past like year, 2 years, maybe even 3, was Jones getting that hat from Petty. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Can you imagine like getting like you're going to Petty, like obviously as a racer, you want to say, yeah, I've got a chance. I've got a good car here. Man, they put him on rails that day, and he goes and they had that agreement that if he won a race that he'd get a hat from Richard, and that was really cool to see.
Did you notice like this year alone, it seems like Richard Petty's having a little bit more fun being a car owner than he has in years past with Eric Jones?
I don't know if it's that or they're just showing him more, but I would agree with that. It does seem like he's kind of a little more, I don't know, maybe he's a little more involved right now.
Like, so you see,
he's only got half the paycheck into it now, though. That's another thing. Right. So he could be a lot less stressed out.
I mean, I sit there on occasion, I'll scroll through the app that everybody loves on TikTok, and you'll see NASCAR videos pop up. And there was one on there where Richard Petty, like, willingly did a video where they had his boots, his sunglasses, and his hat sitting on the car, and he walks up, puts all of it on, and just stands there and is smiling and, like, laughing, like, yeah, I'm a badass type guy. Like that's, I like 5-6 years ago, I would never have seen Richard Petty do something like that. But it seems like now he's having so much fun in the sport, and it's great. I think it's great for NASCAR in general that Petty is having this much fun and is like this invested into it again.
Right. Yeah, yeah, I'm with you there. That makes sense. So, Gordon did his run here in the Porsches. Didn't look terrible. Didn't look fantastic. Pretty much finished where he started. But his first step into that 24-hour Le Mans in that NASCAR prototype, I think that was his step to say, hey, can I even do this? Is this a viable option? Will my body hold up? Will my mind hold up? And I think he hopped out of it with some good headspace there, and he was feeling pretty darn good about himself after that race. Obviously, he knew he didn't set the world on fire, but he came out and he at least held his own, didn't fall back far. So that's a win for him there. It's not like you're racing anybody else either, because I think they're the only prototype into the series that's in that class. I could be wrong there, but it's that NASCAR class, though, so I don't see anybody else hopping in there right now, because they've been developing that car for quite some time. So it will be interesting to see, at that point, it's just stay clean, get out of the way of other guys, and go out there and have a fun time, I guess. It's really not as stressful as a lot of races that he's done in the past are.
We were talking about the Formula One schedule release. How about the NASCAR schedule release for next year?
Did you see what Harvick, he was giving like thumbs up, thumbs down, middle fingers, stuff like that too? He's not a fan of the road course or the street course at Chicago or here at Indy. No, he's not a fan of those.
No, he was a fan of the Chicago street course. He's not a fan of the Indy road course.
No, definitely not the road course at Indy. I thought the Chicago street course was down, thumbs down.
No,
that was good.
I saw it looked like it was thumbs up for Chicago. Thumbs up for the North Wilkesboro All-Star race.
Was it the Coliseum? Did he like that one? I think he did.
Yeah. The only one he didn't like was them going back to the Indy road course, which I think a lot of people aren't too much of a fan of.
Yeah, no, I would even agree with that. That's one of my favorite tracks. I love that. It's my home track. So I just think give these cars a try on the oval. Yeah, I mean, you owe it to them. If not, say goodbye. You did your due. Take it down the road. Lucas Oil would be a good place to run them.
Absolutely. And, since Lucas Oil is such an iconic track on some of the schedules, like you got Craftsman's coming back into the series. So they announced the Craftsman Truck Series schedules, and we talked about it there for the Indy cars. Milwaukee Miles back on their schedule. So they could bring Lucas Oil back. They really could.
Oh, absolutely. I 100% agree with that.
I think they're scared.
It's again, you look back, and I don't know why I'm saying tradition, because there's nothing really traditional about NASCAR or anything much anymore, but it's tradition to race here, and ever since 1994 they've been here. So it's hard, especially with having an owner that owns the track, because Penske wants his money, and he part owner of that NASCAR. So I mean, being a car owner, you kind of maybe get a little sway there, having a track in your back, your last name.
And it always used to be such a awesome race too. Like even this year's race, it was really good for the trucks. So like, it puts on some great racings. Like if they would just bite the bullet, just come back, just for one off race. It could be like an exhibition race. I don't care. Just bring it back.
Give it a try. Just give it a try. That's all we got to do.
What's it gonna hurt? I mean, we're running the Chicago street course.
You're right. Exactly. Yeah. At the end of the day, that's what we're looking forward to. Woo.
Yeah. But I do like the schedule though. I really do. I thought what they have set up for next year is pretty cool. If it's anything like how this year's schedule broke down, we're at 19 different winners for the year right now.
Tied the most or the top time, which was ever. Like 1990 or 2001 maybe. It was something like that. It was back when like Gordon was into it and everybody, because you saw Gordon. I look back, he was a 400 champion that year. So
yeah. So there's a lot to be excited for next year.
Yeah. There's a lot though that they have to go back to the drawing board and really figure out though when it comes to this car. It's had some really good races, but it's also had some really bad ones that are pretty pretty memorable. So they I just think need to step back. I don't think they've got a good foundation. I do think, but at the end of the day, they have a few tweaks to make on the selector there.
The mechanical failures that this is not because of what happened to Kyle, just in general.
They've had a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. Like there's something wrong. The fact that Kurt Busch probably won't get. I don't think Kurt Busch is getting behind the wheel of that car ever again. To be honest with you, I think he's done.
Yeah, I would probably agree with you on that.
The fact that he barely hit the wall and has been out this long, there's a lot of question marks as to what's actually wrong with this car, other than the fact that it puts on good racing. Like there's something else wrong with it, and I'd like to know what it is.
Right. Yeah. No.
As a fan.
And at the beginning of the year, I remember people saying like, "Man, this didn't really do too well in the safety test." So, so far it was good, but up until that incident there with Bush is when we really saw what could happen and the magnitude it could happen at. So,
and like I'm just gonna use Bristol just because like that. How is it that all four of your top Toyota teams have some sort of major mechanical issue, and like all the cars are built the same?
Right.
There's, I don't know. They need to put the car back in the team's hands and just let them do like their thing to it. I mean, it's NASCAR supplying everything to try and save money and make it equal, but like, it's not working.
Oh, well, I mean, you've got so many different winners. Are you sure it's not working? You know what I'm saying?
Well, racing wise, it's working, but like cars breaking constantly like this, like that, there's something else. There's something wrong. Like that, the manufacture their own parts, put strict rules. You can't do this. You can't do that. Let them manufacture their own parts. I guarantee you, it's still going to be the same racing. You're just not going to see guys blowing power steering for 15 laps into a race.
Yeah, that was bad.
So I don't know.
Well, anything else you wanna add
regarding NASCAR? No.
What else you got overall?
Well, overall, I'll give a shout out here. I'm wearing a shirt. I don't know. Hold on, let me see if I can. Whoop.
Nice.
I got a little stuff on it.
You got a little jelly on it. A little jam.
He ran Friday night, last points race at Linda's.
He got a win, didn't he?
No, he was actually leading the feature, dropped to 7th. I don't know exactly what happened. I didn't really get a chance to talk to him, but he ended up 4th in points. It was our last points race, so
ooh, close.
Ended up 4th in points. Yeah.
What a great run though. Great run.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's the best. So other than the year we ran Shippensburg when I was helping him out, we got 2nd in points, but it wasn't as full of fields as what this was. To be 4th is nothing to be ashamed of. And his son's got 2 wins, and then Michaela, she's missed a few races because they've had issues getting parts, because it's just like everything else in this world. We can't get anything around here, so she's missed the last several weeks. But good job by all of them. It's been great following along. We've been trying to give updates on them, so see what they do for the rest of the year and see what they bring in for next year.
That's kind of the fun part of the season, when you get to kind of throw it out there. You're not going out for points. You get to go out there and have some fun with it.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to next weekend, though. That's my weekend.
Yeah, Williams Grove coming up.
Yeah, a dirt fan. If you're a dirt fan, next weekend is a weekend to look forward to, folks. We've had the Knoxville Nationals. We've had the Chili Bowl this year. We got the Williams Grove National Open next weekend. Pays $75,000 to win.
It's not bad.
Which is no, not at all. And to make it even more impressive, so we've had. Oh my God, this dog is getting into my
cough drops again.
So this past Saturday, we just
bacon flavored cough drops.
We just had a 20,000 to win race at Lincoln with the All Stars, and Brent Marks won that. He's up to over $600,000 in race winnings in a sprint car this year.
That's not bad.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
So if he pockets another $75,000, dude, I'm not going to complain, but holy crap.
Not a bad year.
No. So you figure, dude, there's guys in other sports, like in NASCAR trucks and Xfinity that don't even clear that in a year.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know. I mean, you guys got some nice USAC racing coming out your way on Friday, I believe.
What's that?
Kokomo.
Oh, they were at Circle City, not too far from me this past weekend. I had some with the daughter made the Super Bowl, or she didn't make the Super Bowl, but the team she cheers for made the Super Bowl. So we've been following some little league football action here the past 7-8 weekends.
I had nothing wrong with that. I mean, my high school.
No, they can make some good pops. That's a good thing, especially near the end of the season. Like you hear some cracks of the pads from the other side of the field.
My high school's my high school that I went to, guys. I did go to high school. Don't worry. They suck at football. So once racing season's over, I can't even go and enjoy their high school football games. They're bad. Like they're garbage. They just got their first win of the year, and all their other games, I think they've maybe put up 7 points.
Well, you go to watch the other team, see how good they are. That's what you got to do.
Pennsylvania is a hotbed of high school football. I actually wanted to ask you, now that I thought about it, you said if I had anything else, what is your since we're past the first round of the playoffs now in NASCAR, who is your champion pick?
Man, it's hard not to say Chase right now with the dominance he's having here, the consistency. Ooh, man. Yeah, I think Chase takes it.
See, I want to agree with you so bad on that, just because it's just like it's hard not to. But you know who is really being sneaky?
Very sneaky, sir.
Christopher Bell.
Okay, I mean, I just don't know if his team overall. Like Chase is gonna get there, and that pit crew they've been some rough times there. They're also shown to be a very dominant crew there. So one of the shut up, Kyle. One of the championship, I think, before, if you look at it, I mean, obviously the drivers got a lot to do with it, but they had a huge hand in that first title. So kind of, I got to go with Chase.
Well, I'll take.
I don't think Kyle really thinks that. I don't know, though.
I know he probably really thinks that. I mean, I'll take, just for argument's sake, I'll take Seabell, just because I think it'd be awesome to see him win. But I really think Elliott's probably going to win the championship. It's hard to not beat. He's hard to beat right now, but I'll take Seabell as my dark horse on that one. I know who's not going to win. It's not going to be Kyle Westwood.
Oh, he might. He might go in there and I don't know. I couldn't think of anything there. Not appropriate, at least.
I'm serious. He's a sleeper as of late. Yeah, because he does have Denny Hamlin wrecking him right now.
Stetson says Bowman's going to win.
You know what? I mean, Bowman, he's starting out at the bottom of the cut line, but man, if he had luck go his way, like some other people, he would probably be in the top 4 in points right now. Because he's been fast. He's had a lot of bad luck.
Yeah, I thought he was going to have a lot better year this year than he did. So, yeah, I would agree with that. But I'm going with Chase.
Okay. Well, since you took Chase, I'll take Seabell. Just like I said, argument's sake, we know who Kyle's going to go with.
Ross Chastain. Jeez Louise. Goodness gracious. You got anything else? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Kyle just picked that in honor of Queen Elizabeth. That's all he did.
Fair enough. He's good at Texas and the Roval is Joe's reasoning there. We'll see. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going with Chase. I'm sticking with that. I think the 9 takes it in again.
Oh.
His true pick now is Larson. Just pick all of Hendrick. He thinks Hendrick's gonna win.
You know what? Just pick
I think
anybody.
It's Chevy.
Pick anybody but a Ford. Anybody. Just say, you know what? My champion pick is anybody but a Ford at this point.
Joseph.
Hey, I'll shout out to Kyle for so far. Good job with ECRS. That's about all I'm going to say.
Yeah, yellow flag. Yeah. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, you, sir. Jacob's calling the 5-car too, but he thinks he could win the dirt bowl, the chili bowl, the toilet bowl, anything Larson by a mile. That's what Jacob thinks.
Like that meme.
Exactly. Yep.
Thug life.
Yep, that's Jacob's motto.
Oh God. Actually, see if I can find it again. I just saw a video where it was a behind the scenes of drivers. It had Kyle Larson, Bubba Wallace, Corey LaJoy, and it was just like a racers roundtable with Caitlin Vincey, and Kyle was talking about his winning percentage in 2019 when he won he said like 64% of all of his starts in 2019.
It's not shabby.
He said since that year that he was suspended, he's now at like a 12%. He's won 12% of all the races he's entered this year. And Bubba Wallace was like, yeah, so you went from young money to no money. It's like, oh, that was great. I'll see if I can find it. I'll send it to you then. It was great, dude. I was laughing. Might be one of those TikTok videos.
Right. Well, another good one here. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. As always, you can check out BWSPORTS1.com for all the fun and excitement. McDonald Byron thinks Larson's gonna take it again. I don't know. I think he hasn't shown that consistency. We'll talk about that. We'll get deep into that talk more as the playoffs go on. But for right now, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And we'll talk about maybe who we think is out of this next time. So
yeah.
Until then, guys, Matt, thank you so much. A great one. Glad everything's going dandy there now. And you're back to somewhat normal.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
I don't think you're ever normal.
There's no such thing as normal in this household.
Nope. I believe that, especially, you know who's the epitome of that statement?
Who?
That dog right back there.
You mean the dog that's down here underneath my desk attacking my backpack?
The cough drops, exactly. Yeah. Thanks again, Matt. A great one.
Yeah.
You better get that dog out of hiccup there. You better get that dog before she eats all the Ludens there.
Yeah, it's better than he could be eating worse.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll